Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good whatever, wherever you are in this big, beautiful, and messy world that we live in. I am Carol C.C. Miller, your positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger, coming to you with another episode of Embrace Your Life Chats, where I'm here to hopefully inspire and help heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows through a positive focus. I am here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 11:30 Chicago time, Central Standard Time. Let me know where you're joining me from. I love to see where we're all at around the world in this big, beautiful, messy world we live in. And I'm excited to be here, excited to talk to you, and looking forward to our conversation today. However, before we get started on our conversation, I do like to bring up a couple of things. First, definitely let me know if you can hear me. Again, I just switched out my microphone yesterday or the day before, so I want to make sure it's still working properly. I love to inspire people. It does not mean I'm tech savvy. So, a couple of things I like to talk about before the actual conversation is one, I'm not an absolutist. I do not believe in always, never, right, wrong, good, bad. There's far too many variables that go into almost anything. And there's 7 billion people on this planet. So I cannot begin to say what is right for 7 billion people. Hi, Jane and Lisa. Good to have you here. Ashley, welcome. I will come into comments later for sure to answer any questions. And if you have any topics you would like me to bring a little more love, kindness, compassion, and peace to, please put them in there because I'm again here Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I could use the support on what you would like to hear from me. So let me know that. But I do want to continue in on the conversation because if I just come into Tyrone from Australia. Hello, Ron. Good to have you here. See, I'm going to get distracted and I just want to chat with everybody. So let's get back to the topic for today. One thing is, I'm not an absolutist. As I said, there are 7 billion people on this planet. I can't begin to say what is right, always right, or never right for 7 billion people. I work on a scale of 0 to 100. 0 being always negative, always unkind, always unloving. 100 being always kind, always positive, and always loving. I don't know anybody who lives at 0, and I don't know anybody who lives at the 100. So my personal work for myself is to work within the 80 to 100% of the time. I am kind, loving, compassionate, and peaceful. I would say because of my daily practices, I'm probably in the 90% most of the time. But fear visits me, frustration visits me, anger, worry, all the normal feelings that we all have visit me. But with my daily practices, I don't stay there as long. So that's why I consider myself in the 80 to 100. If you're at 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 20, whatever, it's not right or wrong. It's where you are and where do you want to be. That's the first thing I like people to know about me. And secondly, is I'm a coach. I love supporting people and growing their best life visions of what they want their life to look like. I am not a counselor nor am I a therapist. And sometimes to live your best life, that type of support is what's needed to get you there. So I highly encourage you, whether it's a coach, a clergy member, best friends, counseling, therapy, to come up with your support team to help you live your best life. And your best life looks different than my best life compared to Lisa's best life, compared to Tyrone's best life. All of these people have different things that they're desiring in their life. But my guess is, I almost want to say always, but again, there's 7 billion people. I can't know what is always in everybody's mind. The vast majority of us want to be happy. The vast majority of us want to feel safe and secure. The vast majority of us want to have a meaningful work that we do or meaningful existence, that we matter in this world, that we're seen and that we're heard in this world. So that's what I speak towards, is to be in that space of whatever that best life looks like to you. So today's topic is something I've discussed before. I don't think I've actually made it its own central topic, but it's self-talk. And what is it that you say to yourself? What is it that you think about yourself? When we talk about, I've seen different stats on this, so I've yet to come up with an actual one that I'm confident in, but some stats say that we have over 6,200 thoughts a day. Others, it's much more than that. And research has shown that our the majority of our thoughts are more negative than they are positive. And it's kind of just a self-protection mechanism that we do. So working on being more positive, being kinder, being more loving and compassionate and peaceful is a practice, because that's not necessarily what we're geared towards, because we're geared to taking care of ourselves. And we want to protect ourselves from being hurt from other people's words, thoughts, actions. So we do those kinds of things in a self-protection. If you're not familiar with Brene Brown's work, which is all about vulnerability, I highly encourage you to read every single book she's written and look into her work, because it's really powerful about being vulnerable with yourself and being able to show up in life as who you are supposed to be. So today's topic, see, I just got off topic talking about Brene Brown. Today's topic is self-talk. If you're new to me, I like to define the word, come up with an affirmation around it, and then give some tips about what we're talking about today. So the definition of self-talk is talk or thoughts directed at oneself. It's a pretty simple definition. Talk or thoughts directed at oneself. Now, I'm going to encourage you, this is going to be one of the tips, but it's to be aware of your self-thoughts and aware of your self-talk. Are you quickly saying, well, that's stupid, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, I'm too young, and giving yourself all these reasons why you can't do what it is that you want to do? Are you beating yourself up for doing something wrong rather than looking at it as like, oh, I've learned something here, I can do it better next time? Our self-talk tends to be pretty vicious, and we tend to be our worst enemies. So when you're aware of your self-talk, that's when you can shift it into something just slightly gentler in it. If you're somebody who really beats up on yourself, it's probably going to take a little bit longer to come into more compassion for yourself, but it's still possible with daily practices of it. So we'll talk about those tips in just a moment. And then the affirmation today, and again, for people who aren't familiar with affirmations, I love affirmations. Check out Louise Hay's work. She's a very big, well, she's been passed for a few years now, but her whole work is on affirmations and self-love and taking care of yourselves in that way. But an affirmation is a statement. We tend to think of an affirmation as a positive affirmation, and they can be, but they can also be negative. If your self-talk is, I am not very smart, you are affirming that to yourself. So I would encourage you to pay attention to your self-talk and start affirming things that you like about yourself or things that you want to grow into liking about yourself, rather than focusing on maybe right in this moment, you're going through a really hard time and it's hard to be happy and positive about yourself, but it's still possible. So you just want to take slow steps towards that. So today's affirmation is, I choose kind and loving thoughts, words, and actions toward myself. I choose kind and loving thoughts, words, and actions toward myself. Now, I love affirmations, so I often aware of my self-talk. It's not always positive. It's not always loving and kind. But because of my awareness, I can shift it quicker. But if you're to say that statement, or even just like, I choose to be kind to myself, and you immediately think 10 minutes ago, I just beat myself up over something. So that I choose to be kind to myself is a positive statement. But if you immediately negate it, it's no longer a positive statement for you. So you might want to say, I'm in the process of being kind to myself, or shift it up completely. You do not want your affirmation, your positive affirmation, to be immediate no. Because what you're doing is you are reaffirming in your head what you are good at, what you love about yourself, what you believe about yourself, rather than maybe the past things that you've been telling yourself of not being good enough, not being worthy, or hearing it from teachers or parents in our childhood. And often we pick up and interpret things that are said to us, and they may have said it in a way that they thought was loving and kind, but we took it as being critical and judgmental. So even though their intent was to be helpful, we may have absorbed it as a negative judgment. So you want to replace those with more positive, affirming things that you're working on or that you already believe about yourself. So I choose kind and loving thoughts, words, and actions toward myself. Again, these are practices. I've been doing this for many, many years, and I'm still having challenges with self-talk. I would say that that's probably when I'm not in 80 to 100%, it's probably because of my own limited self-talk that I catch myself doing, and I reframe it and shift it back into where I want to be. I don't know anybody who's 100% of any of these things. I certainly know people who are in the high 90s, and I know some people who are much closer to the zero, but it's about where you are, who you want to be, and where you want to be the majority of the time. I'm not asking you to not feel your feels, and if you're feeling less than or feeling like you're beating yourself up, not to beat yourself up over it, but I am asking you to be aware of how you feel so you can move forward to feeling a little bit better. And we're going to get into the tips right now. Hi, Anne. Good to see you here. And Tori, again, I welcome Randy. Good to see you. It's really important to, again, if I come into the comments here, I'm going to get off topic. But the tips for it is really the first one that I give almost every day for you, but not every single day. But it's to be aware. When you're aware of how you feel, you can shift from there. You can decide to stay there too. Like maybe you're really sad. And there's lots of valid reasons to be sad. Excuse me. There's lots of valid reasons to be angry, but it's about where do you want to be and how long do you want to stay there. When you're aware of your anger, when you're aware of your sadness, when you're aware of your fear, when you're aware of your joy, when you're aware of excitement, then you can do steps to feel a little bit better, or you can decide, you know what, that really made me angry, and I'm going to sit here for a minute in it. The reason I encourage you not to stay there as long is because, again, it's the majority, not everyone, but the majority of the time when we're angry, when we're sad, when we're frustrated, we're focused on that lower, heavier energy. We're focused on blaming, shaming, and complaining about the situation more often than we are for looking for positive solutions to increase and enhance and better the situation. Anger is not wrong. Fear is not wrong. Frustration is not wrong. All of our emotions are valid, and they want to be heard and acknowledged to be able to move through them. Just ask yourself, how long do you want to stay there? So by awareness, you're going to catch yourself thinking these negative thoughts. And I promise you, when you first start doing this practice, you might be a little surprised how negative your thoughts are towards yourself. So it's not about beating yourself up over the fact that you've been really hard on yourself, because that keeps you in that energy. Often when I first start working with somebody and we're working on those negative thoughts, I'm like, congratulate yourself. Pat yourself on the back, because now you're aware of it and now you can shift from it. When we're living on autopilot, which a lot of us do, I certainly get into it myself, life is living us. We're not aware. We're not in gratitude. We're not knowing what's going on. We're just going through the motions. It's harder to shift and change when we're just going through the motions. When you're aware of how you feel, that's when you can shift. That's when you could decide, you know what, today's a really hard day. I'm just going to try to get through it. Or you know what, today's a hard day, but I'm going to look for ways to make it a little bit better. It's not wrong to feel bad. It's what you want to do with it. How long do you want to stay there? And how do you want to move through it? I really hope I get that across, because I don't want to say people who are negative are wrong or bad people. It's where they are, and it's what might be working for them in the moment. So they need to decide for themselves how they want to feel, how they want to show up in life, and who they want to be in life. Just like you get to choose that, and I get to choose that. That's questions that I ask myself daily, is who do I want to be, and how do I want to show up? When I'm in a really good place, today I'm going to a concert tonight, so I'm super excited. It's easier to show up as my best self on those days. But on the days or the moments, because I've been practicing this for so long, it's rare that I have a full-on bad day, but it can happen. But I certainly have full-on bad moments, or just had a conversation with somebody that didn't go well. And I remind myself in those moments, okay, I'm not happy right now. I'm frustrated. I'm sad. I feel unworthy. Whatever it is, it's a lower energy for me. Who do I want to be right now, and how do I want to show up? I want to be kind. I want to be loving. I want to be compassionate, and I want to be peaceful toward myself, which is more of the work for me, and to other people. So it's about reminding myself of who I want to show up. And those are my 4 top values. Is that 4? Yeah. So those are the values that I live on. So maybe we'll talk about values, because when you know what you value in your life, it's easier to make decisions from there too. So tip 1 is awareness. Tip 2 is get curious about it. as I get you paying attention, you might start wanting to beat yourself up because you're realizing you're focusing on what you don't want. You're blaming yourself for not doing better in life or better at this or better at that. But it's a get curious, like, why do I feel that way about myself? Why do I say that about myself? Get curious about it rather than blaming yourself for it. And then just kind of inquire about it and see. But when you're curious, you're coming from a higher energy than you are from blame. Blaming is going to keep you stuck in the blame. But if you get curious, you're going to start moving through it a little easier. And then the third one is be your own best friend. When you think about what you say to yourself, I'm pretty sure, not everybody, but I'm pretty sure the vast majority of you would never consider saying that to your best friend, nor would your best friend ever say that to you. So when you catch yourself saying that, I don't even like using these words, like I am stupid, I am ignorant, I am dumb, whatever those things are. Would your friends speak to you that way? Your best friends would not speak to you that way. So be your own best friend. Again, don't beat yourself up for it because now you're aware and now you're going to shift. And it might even be a shift, which I'm still not a big fan of, is that wasn't the best thing for me to do right now, but it's not blaming yourself for it. We all make mistakes. We all do things that perhaps we could have done better. So it's about staying above the blame, shame, and complain. When we get into blame, shame, and complain, we are feeding that energy. When we get into gratitude, when we get into love, kindness, compassion, and peace, we are at a higher energy that's going to support us more in living our best lives. Does it mean you're not going to have challenges in your life? I don't think so. I don't know that there is a possibility of not facing challenges. And honestly, if we didn't have some challenges, we might start taking things for granted because everything would be so good that we wouldn't have any comparison and that whole duality thing. So it's about finding the gratitude wherever you are right now, whether you're at a 20 or you're at a 95, is to focus on what it is you want more than what you don't want. The don't wants are going to show up. The negative self-talk is going to show up. It's part of who we are, but how much time do you want to spend there? So it's really about how do I feel, who do I want to be, and how do I want to show up and move from there. So again, the last tip for today is to be gentle with yourself on it, because we do have, like, I've been doing this for years and my self-talk can still be negative, and I could easily get into the, you've been doing this for years, how can you possibly still have negative self-talk? That's going to keep me stuck. So it's about being gentle with myself, moving forward, be gentle with you, be gentle with others. Think about the fact that the vast majority of us are trying to do our best each day in the moment with what we have and how we can get through it. So take care of yourselves. I'm going to come into comments, but quickly go over self-talk is the word of the day, talk or thoughts directed at oneself. Our affirmation is I choose kind and loving thoughts, words, and actions towards myself. Tips, be aware of how you feel, be aware of how you want to feel, and move forward in that. Don't blame yourself. Don't get mad at yourself if you're having less than a great moment. We have them. It's part of who we are. Again, it's the majority of the time. If you're at 51, you're at the majority of the time being kinder to yourself. If you're at 42, you might not be at the majority, but you are aware of where you are and you're able to move forward or stay there. It's not a right or wrong. It's who you want to be and how you want to show up. How do you want to feel? It's easy for us to want other people opinions and how other people feel and wanting everybody else to feel good. We can only be in charge of ourselves. If I could spread and make everybody feel good, I would do it. I can't do it. Darn it. So I come here and try to help give you some tips on how you can do it for yourself. I can suggest things and then you get to try them on and see if they work for you. It's totally up to you. So I'm going to come into comments and, oh, Cairo is in the house. I so love that there's so many people from all over the world here. And it just, again, really reaffirms to me that the vast majority of us want the same things. We want happiness. We want health. We want to feel safe and secure. We want to feel that we matter in this world. We may come from different approaches because of religion or ethnicity or culture, lots of different things that we don't know each other about, but we really know each other's hearts. And our hearts want those things for ourselves, and our hearts want those for others as well. So, hi, Kareem from Cairo. How to keep, okay, Tori, how to keep the kind thoughts about oneself rather than having some negativity creep in. Tori, first of all, I would not be concerned with negativity creeping in because it's probably going to. Just like acknowledge it, like, oh, how, hi, and say hi to it. It wants to be heard too. And it's just kind of, I think about it just like cleaning up, like you're organizing your room, and the vast majority of your room may be looking perfect, and there's one side that you have a junk drawer. And so that negativity isn't wrong, it's just how much attention do you want to give to it. And it's probably going to keep coming up to you because often we think it's wrong to be negative, and it's not. It's just, where do you want to be the majority of the time? So, Tori, I would just encourage you, when that bubbles in, like, get curious. Like, I wonder why that keeps coming back to me. It's just something to be gentle with and work for. So just work on it every time it pops up. It's like, oh, hi there. Thank you. That's one of the things that I do with fear. I mean, people like, get all up about fear. Fear can be your foe and it can be your friend. It's there to tell you that you're focused on something you don't want in your life. Because often, not always, often fear is a future event. I'm afraid that this meeting's not going to go well. I'm afraid that my boss is going to be mad at me. I'm afraid that my spouse is going to be upset, or I'm afraid of finances. There's lots of things that we're afraid of. The fear is to tell you, Carol, you're not focusing on what you want. You're focusing on what you don't want, and move forward from there. It's also sometimes there to tell you, don't cross the street right now. It's not safe to do. So I encourage you not to see fear as a bad thing, but just as a barometer as to helping you feel, be aware of how you feel. If you're in a more of a fearful state, it's not wrong. It's where you're at. Does it feel good? Does it feel good? Does it feel good to feel that way? And if it doesn't, then just start taking smaller steps to feel a little bit better. Gratitude is one of the best ways to get out of any heavier energy, is to start focusing on the things you're grateful for in your life. If you're going through a really hard time and finding gratitude is hard, I do say this a lot. My mom passed away 3 years ago. In the last few years of her life, she needed oxygen support to maintain her life. I'd never thought about the fact that I don't tell my body to breathe. It just does it. So I was not giving gratitude for that because it wasn't something I even had to think about. But because of my mom's situation, it's like, oh, I'm grateful that I can breathe on my own. And oh, I'm grateful that there's medical support for people who need that support to be able to continue living. So even in our hardest situations, when we're in grief, I think Lisa's here, somebody who's been with me for a long time, and her mother passed away a little over a year ago. And the grief can be all consuming, especially early on, but there's still the possibility of finding gratitude in it. When my mom passed, it was really hard, and the gratitude, she was no longer in pain. So it's about finding ways. See, I'm going to get teary talking about it. It's about finding ways to find the gratitude, even in the hard spots. So, Roan, thank you so much for your kind words. Tori, if you've not been with me, I'm a big hugger. Been doing free hugs and global hugs since 2008. 2 years off now because of COVID, but I'm planning to start it back up in September. You will be hearing about that very soon, and you'll probably get sick of me talking about it. But hi from India, Kakali. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, Kate, good to see you. Lisa, this is a good topic. Excellent. I just think of my past and how much, Lisa, I love this. This was a great topic. When I start thinking negative thoughts, I just think of my past and how much better things are. And that is even a great way to look at it for almost anything. Often when we're going through a challenge, in the midst of the challenge, it's really hard to find the gratitude in it. But usually it's on the other side of the challenge, once we're through it, where we can see, oh, I really grew on this. Oh, I learned a lot about myself in this. And again, not every challenge necessarily is a training opportunity, a learning opportunity. I'm not an absolutist, but often they are. So when you think about things that are really hard right now, look about how you were before. And that's things that I even work with on coaching clients, because sometimes we'll get on a call and they're like, I can't believe I'm still here on this. It's reframing our mindset, and that just takes some time and some work. And so I'll say, how were you 6 months ago on this topic? And they would have been stuck in it a lot longer. So it's about seeing the progress, even if the progress seems slow to you. I am not the most patient person in the world, so I completely understand when you want to be happy quicker, but it really is a process. It's about uncovering new things of new concerns and new ways that you might be playing small to protect yourself. So look at it that way too. So thanks, Lisa. That was a great observation. Deanna, good to see you. Caldwell, Idaho. Excellent. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Afghanistan is in the house. I need some Afghanistan huggers. I've never had anybody in Afghanistan join me. So M. Zaki, I may have to have you sign up for global hugs in September. And I don't know. I'm hurt by Anne, if you can explain that a little bit better, I'm not quite sure what you're saying there. Otherwise, I'd be happy to share. Randy, so good to see you. Julie from Illinois. We're at Julie in Illinois. I am in Chicago. Okay, Anne. Hello, Carol. Living in Oregon. I'm taking care of my mother. She was hit head on by a drunk driver. I'm still going through divorce. It's still ripping my heart out. He has a girlfriend. They moved in together. They have I don't know what to do. Let me see here. I keep losing your comment, Anna. I am so sorry, Anna. They have an autistic son. I don't know what to do in a day. I zombie through the days. I want to be happy just a little. Anna, sending you so much love. First of all, the situation you find yourself in, it's how I was talking about. Sometimes things seem so heavy, seem so hard. Not even seem, they are heavy and they are hard, that it's really hard to find the goodness in those situations. So be gentle with yourself. Look for the little glimpses of the magic in it where you can find appreciation. Maybe the appreciation is that you're able to help your mother, even though it's hard. Maybe the appreciation is that your mom survived this horrific accident, but look for things in your day that you can find to want to continue on to the next step. And Anna, I absolutely encourage you to seek out support in your area. Especially maybe not even in your area. You can go online. Since COVID, there are so many opportunities to get therapy online where you don't even have to be in the area. And I do believe there's a lot of free services too. I know you're worthy of feeling better. So I really encourage you to seek that type of support out and just take some small steps in doing it. But sometimes life is really, really hard, and it's really hard to focus on what you want in those moments. So take some deep breathing. I would encourage you to really, really take deep breathing. We tend to all breathe very shallow breathing. And so when you fill up your complete body and just take a breath in to the count of 4, hold it for the count of 4, exhale on the count of 4, hold that for the count of 4, and do that 3 to 5 times. And that tends to help recirculate in your body to get you some oxygen to your brain and to your heart to be able to think clear. But honey, your situation is just hard. I wish I had easy solutions for you, but I really do encourage you to seek out support, whether it be an online service or somebody in your area. I believe I thought you lived in California, so I'm confusing my Annas here. But I do know that you deserve to feel better. So please seek out that support. Keep coming here and joining me Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I love being able to offer what I can offer to you. And again, I just know that you're worthy of living your best life. So please seek out that support. Did I miss anybody? Sometimes I miss people because it doesn't show up. D from Florida. Venice is in Michigan. Wonderful. Or maybe it's Venus. I need to manage and practice staying motivated. Rick, that's a good topic. I think I did discuss it before, but again, one of the things is it's daily practices. So I'm here talking about ways to heighten celebrations and lessen sorrows. Most of my topics have a very similar thing to repeat. So Rick, I will bring that up some way next week on staying in that high vibe space. Rick, one of the things that I personally like, I am a word sensitive person. So if motivated works for you, use it. I prefer to be inspired. So I would look at it as managing to stay inspired and wanting to live my best life by being inspired, inspiring others, and being inspired too. But some people love the word motivated, and that's what works for you. Use that word. Hi, Laura. Good to see you. We have Russia in the house. Ibrium, I'm not sure if I said that right. In Germany, Steve is here. Russia, I've never had a global hugger from Russia either. I don't think so. Keep coming back because you're going to hear about the global event happening September. I think I chose the second weekend of September, but I will be talking about it probably starting next week. So I think I got to everyone. The UK, have you seen the Just Say Hello gentleman in the UK? Kate, I don't think I have, but I think I need to. That sounds, do you have a link to it that you can share, or I'll just look up Just Say Hello UK? If I don't write it down, I'll forget it. So. Oh, good. So it is that, Anna. You were in California and now in Oregon. Anna, if it's about love, kindness, compassion, and peace, it's not off topic. If it's about having challenges on finding love, kindness, compassion, and peace, it's not off topic. I just come up with a topic to discuss those 4 things in different ways. So please know your questions are always welcome here. I don't always have a response or the answer that you may need, but I am willing to do what I can to support you. And actually on my website, I have an info on different national, and these are for the US, national organizations to support people. I don't know if there's something that would help you, Anna, but I really, 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 really want you to seek some support in your local area or online, because you're going through a challenging time, and support to get through it is only going to make it easier to move through. So I really encourage you to do that. Oh, and Deanna, you're also motivation. Okay, so motivation is a next week topic. Okay. And I miss you too, Anna. I'm glad to have you back here. And thank you, Kate, for sending me that. I will also look for it. I think we're done for today. I don't see any other questions. Oh, Lisa, you say I missed, but hope you have a... Lisa, can you repost the comment? Because sometimes I don't see them until after the live is over. So I'm not sure. I see that you said good day from Drury, California. Lisa, I don't see your question. So if you can please repost. Oh, yes, you're still finding it hard to deal with grief. You know, Lisa, it just varies for everyone. Some people, it's a quicker process. Some people, it takes longer. Some people haven't healed things that needed to be said, perhaps. And so there's that type of thing. But I would really encourage you to seek out some grief counseling in your area as well, because you deserve to feel better. I'm fairly confident to know that your mom would not want you to feel this grief stricken. And even if she was a difficult person, and I don't know, I'm not saying that you've said this to me. I'm just saying that if you've had a member who has passed on, who might have been a difficult person to deal with in life, they no longer have that with them anymore. So even if you feel like, oh no, she would want me to suffer, again, I don't know your circumstances on that. That's not who she is in her heart. That is a self-protective mechanism that some of us use to stay safe, that you can't hurt me if I don't allow that in. So know now where she's at, regardless if she was that person here, she absolutely loves you and she would not want you still suffering over it. I personally don't believe grief goes away. I believe you learn to walk with it, to move with it, and it shifts. And I have shared this before. So Lisa, hopefully you've heard it before, but it's always good to repeat. I don't know who said this. It was probably, like, my mom's been gone 3 years, so it was been in that time that I heard it. But somebody likened grief to a box with a bell on one side of it, not a bell, a trigger on one side of it. And in the box is a ball. And so early on in grief, that ball is huge and it takes up the whole box. So it keeps hitting that hurt, 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 hurt button on the box. And then as time goes by, the hurt button, the feeling of missing someone button is right there, but the ball shrinks. So now the ball moves around and moves around in the box, and every now and then hits that hurt button and brings you right back to feeling the loss, the sadness, the grief. I don't know. I mean, goodness, my mom's been gone 3 years and I still almost teared up about it right here. My dad's been gone much longer and I don't tear up as much about his loss, and it's still very impactful to me. So it's not that it goes away, but it does the sadness part, the grip of the sadness part, I would say, because I'm still sad that my dad's not here, but the grip of the sadness part starts to go away. So I really, really do wish that you would look into getting some support for yourself. A year out, some people it's 10 years out, some people it's 6 months out, some people never get over it. So it's really not about a time limit. It's what works for you. Who do you want to be and how do you want to show up in life? And my guess is you don't want to show up in so much pain. You just don't really know how to work through it, which a lot of us don't. So I am not a grief counselor. I've actually thought about studying it because I think it is such a big topic that the Western world does not necessarily allow us to feel as much, funeral's over, get back to work kind of thing. So I'm going on and on and on. I apologize. Lisa, please look for some sources that are going to support you in living your best life. And that means living your best life with grief being part of it. It does not mean grief's going to go away. And maybe it does. Maybe it can for you. My guess is it's just part of who you are now. And you want to live with that in the best possible way. So I hope that helped. And I hope that was a comment that you said that I missed. Lisa, you said there was a comment before that. I'm sorry, there's so many comments here. I don't know which one. So if you want to post it in here, I will come back later and look, but I don't see which one you're talking about. I'm so sorry. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope it helped. I hope you know you're worthy of living your best life, whatever that looks like. And there's people out there to support you. Starts with you wanting the support, starts with you doing your own inner work and feeling a little bit better about yourself, paying attention to your self-talk and knowing that we tend to be our worst enemy. So if you have other people out there that you think are saying unkind things to you, I would encourage you to think about what you're saying to yourself. Because generally speaking, the more we feel secure and confident and worthy in ourselves, not always, the less other people's comments bother us because we know who we are, we're comfortable with who we are, and we love who we are. So other people's comments don't tend to penetrate us as much. We might observe them, but we don't absorb them. When we're feeling less than our best, that's when we tend to absorb other people's thoughts about us. We are a connected species. Most of us want to be appreciated and valued and loved. So I'm not saying it's wrong to want people to care about you and to say nice things about you. It's how much validity do you give it? If they're not giving you what you need, let it come from within, and then it's going to be easier to manage as well. So self-talk, self-talk, self-talk. I highly encourage you to pay attention to it, get curious about it, talk to yourself as your best friend, and be gentle with yourself. And just give it a try, even if it's for a week or two, and see if you notice a difference on getting agitated quicker, because it's going to be something you're going to be aware of now. So hopefully it helps, and I will be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. One of those days we will be talking about staying motivated. I'm not sure which one yet, but I will bring it up. The other 2 days, it'll definitely be topics on heightening celebrations and lessening sorrows through a positive focus. So go out there and have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a hug if you can't hug somebody else, and hug somebody else if you can do that. And we'll talk soon. And remember, you matter. You matter to me. You matter to the world. And most importantly, you matter to you. So long for now.